Ugh, I got a little tear in my eye. Guys, this episode of Dragon Ball Super, episode 118, is one of my favorite episodes of this entire tournament so far. And that includes the Ultra Instinct G-Ren fight. That includes all of it. This is one of my favorites. Holy shit, everything was on point for this one. I mean, first off, the music, incredible. So many good musical stings, orchestral versions of shit. Really good, just really good placement of music and soundtracks. Okay, so I got to get that right out of the gate. Everything felt really pumped and energized the entire way through. It was basically just non-stop battles, over and over again, with switching back and forth between two battles. There really wasn't a lot of filler in between. You know how, like, every now and then, like, we cut back to see, like, okay, there's an intense fight, then we cut back over to see, Beerus and everybody, and they're, like, doing some comic relief for a little bit, and then you cut back over. There's, like, very, very minimal amount of that in this episode. There's a little bit of, that kind of stuff at the beginning, but when you get really into the heart of it, it's really just non-stop action. It's one of those episodes that really, I was on the edge of my seat. I was even standing up at a few of these. I was standing at the edge of my bed, like, yeah, this is going. I'm feeling the energy. So basically you got two fights here going on. You got the fight with the remaining Universe 2 members, and then you have the fight with the remaining Universe 6 members, the two Namekians, Salno and Pernell. Might be messing up their names. I think one's like Salnell and one's Pernell, whatever. Anyway, and you know what? This episode wins because I thought those two fights were going to be so insignificant. I thought, like, Goku's just going to stand up and beat the shit out of the remaining Universe 2 members. It's over. And then the two Namekians, I mean, come on now. We had Universe 6. You have Hit, you have Caulifla, and you have Kale that fused into Kefla. You have all these amazing warriors. And, it's not, you're thinking the two Namekians that were just introduced in this tournament, yeah, they're not going to be relevant, but holy, they actually did this well. They did it very well. And so, but before I get to talk about that, because I'm really pumped, I just want to talk about the Universe 2 members, right? So, you know how everybody was so annoyed with Ribrianne? And they still are. You might be a little bit disappointed. In the beginning of this episode, they kind of come back. The remaining 3 members of Universe 2, they receive the powers of the former trio of maidens. So, the big dude, I think his name starts with a Z. I don't know any of these guys' names, but, it's like, repetition words like Zhao Zhao or whatever. And so then obviously the big guy gets Ribrianne's power, and then the one with the blue hair, the blue skin, and the little jewel gets Rosie's power, the wild chick. And then the old dude gets the Yan China fist, Ty Lee crap. Now, look, at first upon viewing this, you might think, this is ridiculous, this is stupid. Oh my god, I can't believe we just got rid of these characters in the last episode and now they're coming back. You know what? It actually kind of works, and I'll tell you why. It's because at the beginning of this episode, it's shown that Universe 2, and Universe 2 only, is the one that's actually broadcasting the events of the Tournament of Power to their universe. So most of the other universes don't even know what's going on right now. Because they decided, like, we're not going to tell the citizens of our universes about this tournament, because if we tell them, it's just going to be sheer anarchy. It's going to be fucking just nonsense. People are going to be, like, killing each other, blowing each other up, because, like, oh my god, we're all going to die! That kind of stuff. So they don't tell them. It makes sense. It makes sense. But Universe 2 is sort of like, love is something that's very important in Universe 2. All the planets around Universe 2 have this intense love. So they're it's kind of like a message of, like, what you could really be as the human race, because it's like, instead of looting, instead of going out and murdering and everything like you would do if, like, a giant meteor is going to hit the earth in 2 days. What do you think's going to happen? Do you think all the human race are going to, like, get together and, hold hands and sing Kumbaya and feel love for our entire human species? Or do you think we're just going to go out and, set things on fire? I'm assuming to set things on fire. But Universe 2 is actually the holding hands and Kumbaya. It's actually kind of a really emotional scene. It reminds me a lot of a movie called Summer Wars. And if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend to go watch it. But at the ending of the movie Summer Wars, if you haven't seen it, go see it, but I'm going to spoil the ending now. I'm not going to spoil the story of Summer Wars, but the ending of it involves all the people of the world coming together and, cheering on this person to win a fight. And it's this really emotional choir music that's playing in the background, and it just really tugs at your heartstrings. And that is kind of what I felt in this episode with Universe 2, how all the members of the citizens of Universe 2 are just pulling together and cheering on their team, and just all the hopes of every single man, woman, and child rests on these warriors, and it's that love that manifests in this really ridiculous form. This is still ridiculous, but I like the setup. And like I said, the musical cues really, it's not goofy. It actually makes you feel kind of sympathy for what's going on here. So they continue to fight against Goku and 17 and 18, and they team up. And there's a funny scene with them where they actually kind of get knocked into the whole, aesthetic of the scene of Universe 2, where 17 steps out and is like, I am Android 17 from Universe 7, and I defeated Rosie and your other warrior. And then 18 comes out and she's like, I am the goddess Android 18, and I defeated your goddess Ribrianne. And then they both look at Goku, and Goku's like, I'm Goku, and then they all charge. And there's some really great scenes there where, they use all the techniques. We see, the reason I hated Ribrianne is because every single time she was around, it was just love, 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 love. And it's sort of like that with these guys. It's all the same attacks. So she has they have that attack where they name all the different like amor, love, all the different languages of love. They have the same shtick they do there, but it just feels like this is a latch ditch effort for Universe 2. All right, and they don't spend that long. Like, the actual warriors don't sit around and blabber about it too much. It's mostly just straight up fighting, and we do get a lot of that. We get an awesome scene where they shoot a love attack at the group, and then Goku and 18 and 17, they all kind of group up in one thing, and 17 throws up the Omni Shield, and it blocks it, and that's cool. They're all working in perfect unison here. That was a really cool scene, and it coalesces in this move that they have in Team Universe 2, what they got, and let me see if I can just pull it up here. It coalesces in this move that even the original trio weren't able to do, called Love Black Hole or something like that. Pretty Black Hole, that's what it was called. And it's just the combined weight of all their love compressed in a singularity of this massive chunk of gravity. And hey, you know what? I know it's like a giant mass of gravity shaped like a heart, but I'll tell you what, as far as finishing attacks go, that works a hell of a lot more than Ribrianne turning into a butterfly and growing up to Godzilla kaiju size, alright? I think that works a little bit better. So, that's what we got from Universe 2. At the same time that's going on, we have the fight with Gohan, Piccolo, and then the two Namekians from Universe 6. And this was done so well. It references so many things from the Namekian power, armory, all the different things in their arsenal that they got, right? So there's a scene early on where something happens to the two of them. The two of them are relatively getting their asses kicked by Gohan and Piccolo. And at one point, it's like their power stabilizes. The ki coming off them kind of levels out. And then all of a sudden, Gohan and Piccolo, they start seeing an entire army of Namekians standing behind Salno and Pernell. And I'm thinking, oh, is this going where I think it's going? And it is. And it's beautiful, right? So here's what happened. This is great. They bring up Namekian fusion. Now, I think a lot of people were thinking maybe Salno and Pernell were gonna fuse themselves to make one ultimate warrior. They go even further than that, and this is also something that's kind of really sad, really. Really sad, really. All of Planet Namek, after being told what the stakes of this tournament was, after they came and said, you have to fight in the Tournament of Power, if we lose, the entire universe gets erased. It's like all of Namek, collectively, kind of the same thing with Universe 2. They all came together because they've always been nomadic, a peaceful kind of people that have figured out how to all work in tandem without any wars or anything going on. So the Namekian people come together, and for the sake of their universe, they, Salno and Pernell get selected as the warriors, and I don't know if it's expressly stated that every single one of them did it, but a vast majority, I'm going to assume it was the entire planet, if not the entire planet, the vast majority, decide to pool their energies together and fuse with these two mighty warriors for the sake of saving their entire universe. And keep in mind, Namekian fusion is not the same thing with the Potaras or with the fusion dance. You don't come back as an individual after you Namekian fuse. Nail is permanently part of Piccolo. He's never coming back as just Nail. Same deal with Kami. Alright? So that means all of the members of this planet got together, chose these two warriors, and then decided to impart their actual individuality and give that up to be part of these two warriors just for the sake of defending their universe. You know, like they're all the martyrs that chose to save this. That is beautiful. That is some really good freaking storytelling right there. I have to say it is. And speaking of Nail and Kami, we even get cameos from them, which I thought was incredible. There's a scene where Piccolo gets knocked down and he's seeing these visions of all these they're like Namekians, but they have no eyes, and they're like staring at Piccolo like we're doing this to defend them. And then you see this scene where Nail and Kami are standing over Piccolo. And that's so cool that they reference Nail, because I don't think Nail has been referenced since the freaking Namek arc. I think he was mentioned a single time during the Boo saga when Goku was teaching them about the fusion dance, and I think they just had like a throwaway line like why, you know, this type of fusion is different from the Namekian type of fusion, but I think that was it. So it's really cool to see. I mean, they don't say anything, but it's just the fact they thought to include Nail there. Like, they could have screwed it up so much and just had Kami there, but they threw in Nail. You know, that really means a lot, right? And so it's like a battle of these like lost Namekian souls that are inside of Piccolo, and then the ones that are inside of Sanel and Pernell. And so Gohan and Piccolo fight against them, and you know, Piccolo starts charging up the Makenko Seppo. I think I got that right. And Gohan just tries to struggle because they're facing basically an entire planet. And at first you might think, oh yeah, Gohan and Piccolo will be able to take out these Namekians easy. And then they say, oh yeah, we have the combined power of our entire planet behind us. And then you start to think, like, Namekian fusion's not the same as just, like, 1 + 1 = 2. It's like a multiplication factor, because Piccolo fused with Nail, and then after that fusion, you know, I don't want to get into power levels and everything, because that's something that's so, like, outdated at this point, but I know that at this point, Nail had a power level of around, like, 40,000, and I think Piccolo, after training with King Kai, had something, like, higher, probably around, like, you know, 80 or 90,000, I might be off on that, and then at the same time, you had Frieza, who was a power level of 1,000,000, and then after Piccolo fused with Nail, he had enough power to, like, you know, be on par with 1,000,000 power level Frieza, his second form Frieza. Now, I don't like to get into power levels and all that crap, because, you know, it's just, you know, who gives a shit, really, at this point, but, that's just an idea. It's like a multiplication factor. It's not, like, just 1 + 1 = 2. So then I start thinking, like, whoa, they might actually be kind of in a run for their money here, if nothing else. Some other scenes that I really liked, like, there was, like, one throwaway scene that really didn't mean much, but it was cool that they like, understood all the different abilities that Namekians had. There was a scene where, Sanel, you know, stretches out his arm, which is something they can do, and he crushes Piccolo against a rock, and I think, Gohan shows up and cuts off his arm, and then it lasts, like, 1 second or 2 seconds. They don't draw attention to it. Sanel just regenerates his arm, using the regeneration ability that all Namekians have, and then he uses the magical materialization ability that Namekians have that's rarely referenced, like the ability just to materialize shit out of nothing to, like, summon his glove back. So it's this cool scene where he's like, I have no arm. Poof! Zip! And then it's just little scenes like that. Didn't mean much, but just little scenes like that. I mean, it didn't mean much in the context of the episode, but it meant a lot to me, because it's like, wow, that is something that a Namekian would be able to do, like, regenerate his arm and then just get his clothing back without even thinking, because that's just their natural abilities, things like that. So, yeah, so you have some good scenes with Gohan and Piccolo. Eventually, it ends, it coalesces in, Gohan and Piccolo combining their attacks. Piccolo uses the special beam cannon and pierces right through, the both of them. It gets right through them with the cannon, and that pierces both of them. At the same time that's going on, Goku and 17 and 18 are being crushed in the ground by this giant heart black hole that's like, compressing gravity down on them. Goku can't even use instant transmission inside of it, and he even mentions like this is even heavier than like the gravity machines at Bulma's place. So this is easily like Goku has trained in like like 500 times gravity at this point, so it's even heavier than like that. So there's a point that, I mean, it's a pretty epic scene where Goku goes through his whole, like, I'm not, I love is cool and everything, but more than love, I prefer guts, and he goes into Super Saiyan Blue, and he breaks through. It's this really neat scene where he fires off a Kamehameha, but it's like there's so much gravity. Like this is the perimeter of the heart gravity bubble thing, and he fires off the Kamehameha, but it doesn't go straight. It like squirms. Like there's so much gravity, it's like warping the ki, and then it finally breaks out of it, and then it knocks Universe 2 off, and then and at the same time the Special Beam Cannon knocks off the other the Namekians, and we're resulting in this scene here, and they get knocked off the freaking fighting arena. And once again, music in the background, freaking on point, 100%. And then we get to the most depressing scene of the episode. This is the Oscar-winning performance. Of course, you have the Grand Priest come out and be like, the universes will be erased! So freaking dramatic. He's totally a nice guy. And you have a scene where both Universe 2 and they don't go out like 9 did. They don't go out like 9 did, where they were like, I don't want to go, I love you, man. I love you too, Citra. I love you, Ro. And then they just disappear and like crying babies. They also don't go out like 10. 10 was sort of like a kind of like dignified, just kind of like Goas was just there like, and then they disappear. Universe 2 goes out on freaking top, man. They all stand there and just like loving each other, and I know that sounds freaking repetitive considering how much that L word comes out of them, but look at them. They all have kind, warm smiles on their faces. They just love being in each other's company. They loved being a team. They loved being around together. Even their own God of Destruction, this was not like, like the God of Destruction was kind of removed from their universe. You can tell that Helios had a big part to play in all of their development. They all loved each other equally. You have this freaking tear-jerking scene where all of the citizens they're beginning to shimmer, like they're beginning to be erased, and they're just like still like waving their sticks and being like, "You would love you," and then they disappear. And then you have Universe 6 Erasure, where not the same kind of love that they had in Universe 2, but sort of like a camaraderie, sort of like a sense of we tried our best and no one can say that we didn't. We gave it 110%. We gave them everything we had, and we still lost, but we did it together. And they have like a lighthearted moment with Caulifla and the Namekians, and everyone's just kind of looking around like, well, it's been fun, gentlemen. It's like the scene on the Titanic where it's like they're all playing the freaking band. Like, it's been an honor playing with you, gentlemen. It's been an honor fighting with you. Guess it's time to hit that good night. That's nothing else. So they all vanish. Hit vanishes. That was very hard to watch. And then you have a scene with Champa staring over at Beerus. Brother and brother, man. And Champa at the last minute, you think, oh, what's he gonna say? And then right before he gets erased, Champa's just like, hey, Beerus! Hey, bro! And then Beerus is just like... He doesn't cry, but he's crying on the inside. You know he is. I love this episode. It's so good. If you haven't seen it yet, I don't know why you'd be watching this, but if you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. And just watch it again, just for the music alone. It was very, very emotional near the end there. Next episode doesn't seem to be anything too as good as this anyway, but the two hidden members from Universe 4 are finally going to be making their appearance, and there's only 13 minutes left in the Tournament of Power. So you have the two, they've already been revealed. You can look them up on the wiki. They're like two like cicada insect monsters that are going to be showing up, and that's what's going to be happening next episode. But man, this really was a good one. I thought it was going to be such a throwaway episode. Like just mop up duty. That's what I thought it was going to be. Mop up duty on Universe 2 and Universe 6. I figured the Universe 6 goodbye would have been rather emotional, but I did not call the Universe 2 one being that strong. And like I said, it was giving me Summer War vibes and everything. And even like the fighting and the final moves and everything they pulled off and the whole Namekian fusion planet thing, like that, I did not see that shit coming. And it really did help. It really did help to redeem the way that Universe 2 was behaving, you know? But yeah, what did you guys think of this episode? What was your favorite part of the episode, I guess I should say, because there's a lot of I can see there's a lot of different parts in the episode that you could say is your favorite. So what is? For me, it's probably going to be the Namekian fusion planet thing, because that's such an idea, like, it really did seem like it made sense because of how the Namekians operate and who they are. And it really did kind of give more development for the characters that I thought were just going to be toss-aways. So that I got to go with that for mine. But thanks for watching, everybody. Sorry the video output for me has been a little low as of late. The Christmas season is now in full swing, and it has just been insane at where I work. I was on the phone today with a woman. I was juggling like 5 things at once. I was ringing out customers. I had to do something. I had to blow up balloons for another customer, and this lady is on the phone with me, and she's like, "Do you have Sesame Street wrapping paper?" And I'm like, "We do, but it's not for a Christmas. It's only for a birthday." "Okay, well, what's on it?" So I had to go get the wrapping paper, and this is like 5 minutes, like, there's Elmo and Cookie Monster. "Do you think it could pass as a Christmas wrapping paper?" And I'm like, "Lady, this was my day," and I'm doing day shifts, and it's just, it's exhausting, but this episode did reinvigorate me a little bit, so I'm liking that. All right, well, I'm sorry for going off on a little tangent there, but thanks for watching, everybody. Like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember to follow my Twitter and subscribe. I got 200,000 subs, so thanks, and some more videos will be coming out soon, so thanks for just sticking with me. Have a good night, everybody. Signing out.